Trillions of dollars get paid to drug companies, and you still have lousy health care. Obamacare is horrible health care. We want it to go to the people, and then let the people go out and buy their own health care, and they'll do great.
That's President Trump with details on his plan to reform health care and give money back to consumers. This comes as Congress faces a tight deadline ahead of Obamacare subsidies expiring and rising insurance premiums to come. The Senate Help Committee expected to hold a hearing today, making health care affordable again. Senators set to vote on competing health care bills next week. Joining me now is Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. You've got 11 legislative days left before the Obamacare subsidies expire. And we see both parties really doubtful that a bipartisan deal could be within reach. I guess the Speaker said he wasn't going to bring this for a vote, right? What's the story in the House?
Well, I don't know what the Speaker's plans are exactly on this. I did hear the president yesterday. We've got to fix what the Democrats broke, and that is Obamacare. Look, these subsidies that are due to expire, as you said, at the end of this year, that deadline was set by the Democrats. And so now we've got to go in and clean up their mess. It's a shame that we have to do that, but I do think we have a responsibility as we are in the majority to do something with health care. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. It's going to mean, I think, returning a lot of the money to the people and not going into the insurance companies. I think that's a lot of where the fault lies. No one's ever talking, though, about how do we bring down the cost of health care in general. And that's something I'm hoping that our committees of jurisdiction, Ways and Means, and Energy and Commerce are going to concentrate on, and how do we reduce the cost for the consumer? So
when you say reduce the cost for the consumer and fix this mess that you were inheriting, you're talking about a plan that's coming from the White House, Congressman. Do you expect that there will be a vote on the Obamacare subsidies in the House or no?
I really don't have any idea at this time. That'll be up to Leader Scalise and Mike Johnson, our Speaker. All I know is that the Democrats broke this. I think we're going to be able to clean up the mess in some form or fashion. I don't know what the timeline is going to be on that, whether it's by the end of the year. Look, we've got another deadline facing us, Maria. We have 23 legislative days till January 30th, where the continuing resolution expires, and we could be facing another Democrat shutdown of the government. I hope that's not the case. We're going to try to tie, I think the Senate is, some of these remaining 9 appropriation bills in some sort of minibus, send them over to the House. We've got to get that done as well so that we can avoid another Democrat shutdown, as they created a lot of pain for the American people.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, are we really going to go through this again? I mean, you've got to get as much work done as possible so that you could ensure that they don't, your colleagues on the left don't have that weapon to shut down the government again at the end of January.
You're absolutely right. We are working hard on that. We worked very hard to get all 12 appropriation bills out of committee before the end of the fiscal year. We got 3 off the House floor, volleyed those over to the Senate. They came back attached to that continuing resolution earlier this year that reopened the government after the Schumer shutdown. It is our responsibility to get the rest of these passed. Again, I think it's going to come back in some sort of minibus, maybe defense and labor H tied together, labor and health, as they typically are. But we cannot afford another government shutdown. And I think that's where the Democrats are headed. They want chaos in our country, and we're not going to allow it.
That's incredible, actually. Look, Congressman, I want to move on to this other issue that Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is bringing up. She's accusing the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, of blocking her provision in the annual defense bill. This provision that Elise Stefanik wants in there would require the FBI to notify Congress when it opens counterintelligence investigations into federal candidates or sitting congressmen. Stefanik wrote this on X. Unless this provision is added back into the bill to prevent illegal political weaponization of the intelligence community in our elections, I am a hard no. Congressman, the House is expected to vote on this annual defense policy bill as soon as next week. And Elise Stefanik writes, Republicans have the House, Senate, and the White House, yet the deep state is alive and well, with the Speaker getting rolled by House Democrats who are attempting to block my provision that requires congressional disclosure when the FBI opens counterintelligence investigations into presidential and federal candidates seeking office. Are you for that or against it?
I'm for Elise's base bill. I think she and Mike Johnson will work that out. I think they probably need to have a face-to-face meeting and sit down and talk about this. Mike Johnson is very willing to talk with people to work things out. Elise Stefanik is a great member. I have the utmost respect for her. I applaud her effort in running for governor there of the great state of New York, and I think she'll be successful, especially after Mondami's win of a socialist to be the New York mayor. But again, this is going to take some, I think, some face-to-face conversations between the speaker and Elise Stefanik. Hopefully that can happen very soon.
Why would the speaker be against this? I mean, I understand that he wants a clean,
I don't know.
he wants a clean bill. But, you know, Stefanik writes, in a March 2017 open hearing, my questions to former FBI Director Jim Comey began the unraveling of the Russia hoax when Comey admitted that he did not follow proper notification procedures with his illegal opening of Crossfire Hurricane, a criminal act that can never happen again. Why would anyone be against putting that in there?
Well, I can't speak for the speaker, Mike Johnson. I do know that Elise has a very principled bill that she wants attached to the NDAA. I agree with this. I think we need to have transparency, especially when it comes to a rogue Justice Department that has been in the past, that we should have transparency in that matter. But again, that's going to be up to Speaker Johnson. It could be that it could halt the progress of the NDAA coming back over, which we need to get passed.
Right.
We've got to get the National Defense Authorization Act passed, and we've got to get our defense appropriation bills passed so that we can properly fund our defense and so that these new projects can get started. We've got pacing threats from communist China, Venezuela, and of course Vladimir Putin with his illicit war on Ukraine. We've got to make sure that we have adequate defense.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's basically what Mike Johnson told me when I asked him, look, why won't you put something else in about senators being able to sue, you know, if they were tracked, if they were spied on. He said, look, you're right, there's weaponization, but we need a clean CR to get this over the finish line. And that was his answer to that. And here's the speaker with me just recently saying that, look, we got to get the business done so that we don't see another shutdown. But, Congressman, I want to get your take on President Trump's ideas of this initiative for children, the Trump accounts. The Treasury is going to contribute $1,000 to start, and it's all supplemented by this $6.25 billion donation from Michael and Susan Dell. The president also addressed affordability in that cabinet meeting yesterday, even floated the idea of eliminating income tax at some point. Watch this.
Next year is projected to be the largest tax refund season ever, and we're going to be giving back refunds out of the tariffs because we've taken in literally trillions of dollars. And I believe that at some point in the not-too-distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay.
Congressman, your reaction?
Well, look, I think these are targeted to help America, to regain affordability in America, which is a new buzzword, I guess, right now. Everyone wants lower prices. We don't want deflation, of course, in America, but people need to feel secure in their economy, and that's something that President Trump ran on. These tariffs are bringing in substantial money, some $400 billion so far. Yes, we need to pay down our debt. We have $38 trillion in debt. That can be done as well. That's going to be done when the interest rates start coming down even further than they are now, and we start rebuilding our economy from within. That's going to happen with the provisions of the One Big Beautiful Bill, which are going to kick in 23, 24 days now, January 1st, and we are going to start seeing this economy starting to cook. I think by the second quarter, it is going to be an economy like you have never seen before. That is going to restore confidence, not just in the Republican conference, but in Congress in general and America, and going to bring consumer confidence back up once again.
Very good. We have to remember that we haven't seen the impact of that bill just yet. The One Big Beautiful Bill plays out in 26. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much. Mark Alford on Capitol Hill. Stay with us. We'll be right back.